Shadiversity.
Greetings, I'm Shad, and I've recently made a video talking about how someone would actually fight with a lightsaber if these were real weapons, looking at the actual characteristics and qualities and stuff like that. And in it, I do kind of start to talk a little bit about how the Jedi have been fighting with them, that it's more inspired by real swords than actually looking at what the qualities of this weapon is. And I talk a bit about Rey's fighting being the worst. And in this video, I'm fulfilling that promise where I'm going to explain why it's so bad. It's horrible, okay? But if you want to find out how someone should fight with a lightsaber instead of specifically how bad Rey is at doing it, check out my video. I'll put a card there, link in the description, and I posted it a couple of days before this one. So why is Rey's fighting so bad specifically? And it's that, I don't know, they tried to make her different, special or something like that. Whereas, in previous Jedis and stuff like that, they are either doing the full-blown Hollywood thing where it's just flashy fighting, big wide swings and generally not caring about telegraphing or over-swinging and leaving yourself open, stuff like that. Or they actually try and incorporate some historical stances, as I mentioned in my previous video. But Rey, okay. So we start with the training montage. Not looking at The Force Awakens, okay? I'm looking specifically at the training montage in The Last Jedi. And so Rey is there, and she takes this stance. This is the stance, okay? And she is holding it, and she goes like this on one side of the rock, and she goes like this. Now, why is this a horrible sword fighting stance? If you guys know anything about martial arts or swordsmanship, you will know what I'm about to say, okay? This is horrible because there's no forward and back balance. This stance like this, okay? Get a solid knock, you don't go flying back. Why do you think in martial arts the stance is always a foot forward and the foot isn't directly back behind that one? It's off, okay? So this means you get forward and back stability and also side to side stability. This is the most fundamental stance in so many martial arts. But this thing, okay? No! It is wrong on so many levels, okay? And she keeps it through most of the training montage. So after she does the whole thing, you look here, and then she does this twirly thing, grabbing it and she grabs it in an underarm grip like this. Have you ever seen, if anyone, has studied historical swordsmanship, have you ever seen a grip like this? You'll find that it's extremely rare, if not just non-existent at all. The only time you'd use a grip like this if you're using a dagger, try and stabby. But in actual sword fighting, no, you get far less articulated movement with it like this. I mean, it looks cool and you can do, look, I'm spinning the sword. Well, yeah, you can spin it that way as well. I'm gonna change this. There, something a bit more substantial. This is a better lightsaber, analog. I should have used my other video, but look at me, I'm an idiot. Oh yes, you can do that. Really? And then you see kind of the camera is down, facing up, and you see her doing this. This isn't an over an exaggeration. This is what she is doing. I don't know who choreographed this mess, but it is an absolute dog's breakfast piece of junk, okay? Not only is the stance horribly wrong, okay? She's doing these wide baseball bat swings and ending like this, okay? My soul dies a little bit watching it and thinking about that montage. You do not want to overswing when fighting with a sword, even with a lightsaber where there's not, no edge stuff, other video stuff, okay? But overswinging is bad because if you miss your mark, you're wide open, okay? Which is why not every, but a lot of sword strikes end with the sword remaining on point, okay? Where it's there or it's ready to go into another guard position. This is doubly effective with a longsword because of the cross guard, and I love this. So if you land a strike and you end like this is actually still an effective guard position because the cross guard is there to prevent any downward strikes hitting you, and if they go for the legs, you just move them back and you're safe because they can't reach. And so keeping the sword on point, very important. And the circumstances where you do a strike and you overextend, you don't do it all the way. You only do it enough, and you need to keep in mind the follow-up strikes that you'd want to do with a sword, unless that's the killing strike and you do this big slash. and the opponent is dead. Now, I'm not excluding, the stances where you actually hold the sword back and stuff like that. I'm talking about, not telegraphing and overswinging your strikes. Sometimes you do want to telegraph as a feint. Some of my favorite telegraphs is going in for a forward thrust and get them to, try and engage the sword to knock it out of the way and just spinning it around for a strike on the other side. Another telegraph I love is coming in for a side strike like this to get the opponent to block on this side. But instead of going all the way, I telegraph, lead in, and then spin around for a strike on the other side. They work pretty good. But telegraphing a strike that you're committed to is not good, okay? The opponent will block it, and honestly, they might just, avoid the attack completely and then follow through and hit you in return. And so Ray doing this whole thing, it's so bad. And yet, from what it appears to be two main, practice sessions with a lightsaber, and that's if we are including her fight with Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens, like her fighting the Imperial Guard and stuff like that. No. And the thing about the Imperial Guard, here's a bit of commentary on when she's fighting with Kylo Ren against, those red guys, okay? It's bad. I mean, it's Hollywood action, flipping around, lots of movement, looks nice and stuff. But if you slow it down and watch a couple of key things, like the first engagement, okay? There's this red guy, he hits, he gets knocked back, and then he's kind of just spinning around and stuff like that, and he goes in for an attack, but Ray is actually going to get hit. So he has to pull the attack and purposefully miss. And so Ray should be dead there. And the most egregious thing about, and it's funny, she's not fighting the whole this way, like, in that fight scene, as they just go back to the Hollywood standard flashy stuff. But they really mess up the choreography in there, because there's one thing, there's this guy, okay, he's got this weird staffy thing, and he splits it into two daggers, and he's fighting Ray with two daggers. And there's this part where he grabs Ray like this, and the knife in this hand disappears. They legitimately edit it out. Have a look, slow motion, you see this? There's a dagger, and Ray should be dead. She can't defend her back. The guy has a dagger right there, he could have stabbed her in the back, and they see this, and they're like, whoops, we'll just make that dagger disappear. Is that a new force power? Ray can make weapons disappear? I don't know, but she should be dead. Ray is legitimately the worst lightsaber fighting Jedi in all of Star Wars canon. It is an absolute train wreck, from the montage to the fighting. And I just had to invent that, so there you go. And if you want to know how Jedi should fight with a lightsaber, go check out my video that I've previously posted. You'll enjoy it. So thanks for watching, and of course, I hope to see you next time. Until then, farewell.